Good evening and welcome to Imaginary Friends Improv World Premiere Weekend of Marley Was Dead, an improvised holiday humbug. This is going to be a 45-minute show completely made up from the beginning words of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. Marley was dead to begin with. I'm Ann Van Haney, and I'm the founder of Imaginary Friends Improv and Remotely Sketchy Sketch Comedy. We are a group that is based in Yucca Valley in the Morongo Basin in California, out by Joshua Tree, out by Palm Springs, but basically the middle of nowhere. And the purpose of this group is to provide people of all ages with a fun place to learn and perform sketch comedy and improv in person, online, and hybrid. We will be having classes and events in the coming year and beyond that are a little bit of all of the above. So please check our Facebook and our Instagram for upcoming events. Our handle in both places is, let me just check to make sure I've got this right, Remotely Sketchy Imaginary Friend. And we'd love to have you following us. But to begin with for tonight, we would love a suggestion of a holiday tradition or a gift, a memorable gift. And also, we're going to draw a few things out of our cups of ideas and characters from A Christmas Carol. So, for a question that we are going to look into this evening, we are going to consider, what were Scrooge and Marley hiding? And some characters we might be meeting this evening will include, let's see here. Belle, Scrooge's sweetheart. We might also be hearing from Bob Cratchit. And last but not least, we may be hearing from the Fezziwig daughters. Oh, how fun. Okay, now let's see here. We've got some suggestions that have been coming in from our friends on YouTube. Oh, matching PJs. Okay, matching PJs. And we also have opening a gift on Christmas Eve. Okay, so just to recap for everybody, we have the matching PJs. We have opening a gift on Christmas Eve. And then we have the question of what were Marley and Scrooge hiding? And then we're going to be encountering in some way Bob Cratchit, the Fezziwig daughters, and Belle, Scrooge's sweetheart. All right, thank you very much, and get ready for tonight's episode of everybody's favorite podcast and murder show. Murder, maybe not. Who knows? Anything's possible in improv. Marley Was Dead.
A lot of people don't know that when Scrooge took over our daddy's business, that there were a lot of secrets that he didn't tell anyone.
I am another Fezziwig girl, and my name is Portia, and I just wanted to tell everybody that Scrooge and Marley always went after sisters.
200 years ago, eggnog was considered to have medicinal properties. That's why people were putting it in everything and rubbing it on their wounds. Eggnog was a cure-all.
Scrooge and Marley's office was in a distant part of the city, near the river.
You really had to know where you're going if you were ever going to find it.
And one thing more about Scrooge and Marley's office. We always suspected that there were some very secret things going on in Scrooge and Marley's office, and they were not necessarily savory.
As a Fezziwig daughter, we always enjoyed the dances.
You know, as Belle, Scrooge's sweetheart, we would always get matching pajamas each Christmas. So cute.
Dear Belle, I'm afraid I won't be able to see you this Christmas. I have some other business to attend to. But please bear in mind, I love you just the same.
I'm going to be alone this Christmas. I wish Scrooge could be with me.
I'm so sorry that Scrooge won't be with you this year, but you'll always have us, the Fezziwig daughters.
Do you remember opening gifts on Christmas Eve, my sisters?
Oh, yes. And I remember Scrooge always wanting to come over, and Marley. And that is how we have the title, You'll Always Have Sisters.
Good evening. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's episode of Marley Was Dead. Tonight's episode is called You'll Always Have Sisters. Always have sisters. That could be a positive thing, or it could be a sinister thing, a sinister sister thing. But we don't want to get into tongue twisters about sisters or misters or resistors. But we would love to tell you about the different themes that we are going to be exploring in tonight's episode. We want to uncover what exactly it was that Scrooge and Marley were hiding. And as longtime viewers and listeners know, we've been investigating the disappearance, the death of Marley from many different angles. And tonight we might just uncover what definitively happened and what Scrooge and Marley were indeed hiding, and what it had to do with the Fezziwig daughters, what it had to do with Belle. Was Belle in league with the Fezziwig daughters? Was she perhaps one of the Fezziwig daughters doing some espionage? We don't know. We don't know exactly. And then there is also the question of Bob Cratchit's involvement in it all. Well, to get us started, ladies and gentlemen, this evening we are going to hear from some of the Fezziwigs themselves. They are here waiting to come into the studio, and I think we've got them now. Yes? Oh, oh, fantastic, fantastic. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness.
Oh, and I see my sisters here. Yeah.
We have all three of
Elizabeth
you.
here.
I know your names are all Ms. Fezziwig. You've opted to stay as Ms. Fezziwig. I think one of you is actually Dr. Fezziwig now. Yes? But please introduce yourselves, ladies.
Well,
I'm
I
Elizabeth
already did.
Fezziwig.
Elizabeth Fezziwig, yes.
Elizabeth. And yes, that's my sister Elizabeth, and she's very, very serious. I am Pearl Fezziwig, and a lot of people say I'm not serious, but I'm the one that's got the doctor before my name.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Dr. Pearl Fezziwig.
Yes, I have a doctorate of canine husbandry, which means that I look around for husbands for female dogs.
Oh, I see. All right.
Yeah.
And
Hey, is this the Fezziwig Sisters family reunion podcast?
No, not quite, but we are having quite a family reunion here, and I think one of the other Fezziwig sisters was going to introduce herself.
Hi.
That's me.
Oh, well, you must be interrupting Fezziwig then.
We have a new sister that we didn't know about.
Yes, I think you do. I think
I'm
you do.
Caroline. What's your name?
My name's Belle.
Belle, would you happen to be you are, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. Scrooge's sweetheart. Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
sweetheart.
Yeah, she's the prettiest of
think-
us all.
Yeah.
That was a
Scrooge
true
and Marley's
title.
sweethearts. They loved all of us. And I don't recall you growing up in our house. Of course, we're older than you, but still, something is very, very secretive here.
Oh, Belle, since this is the first time meeting your sisters, maybe you would like to tell them and everyone else, where you been hiding?
Yes.
In plain sight, I've just been living in a different house. Just
Oh.
because, why not?
Because why not?
Honestly, I'm just not surprised. There were lots of secrets when we were growing up.
Yes.
And also, why did I stay looking 17 even though I am now way older than I look? Not telling. 27. I would take the secretive house of mine was quite a house. We would take these slugs of rejuvenation and drag their slime all across our faces. And our
Slugs of
faces would
rejuvenation.
slime.
feel a tingly, burny sensation. And then our skin would fall off, but then regrow within 5 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
Why was
That
I never
reminds me.
told about this?
Well, I was going to ask Elizabeth, but Dr. Fezziwig, maybe you know about this as well, but I've heard now, Elizabeth, I mean your skin just glows. But I'm wondering if it was the eggnog facial that you were using, you and your other sisters perhaps used the eggnog remedy?
Yes. Most
I just drank it.
Oh, but Elizabeth and I, when we went to bed every night, we'd get out the eggnog and we'd kind of mix it up really well. And then we would just put it on each other's faces to make it so pretty. And it would get really kind of sticky and dry, but then you'd peel it off and your face would just be so gorgeous and glowing.
Oh my goodness. That reminds me that in this journal that Scrooge dictated to someone who shall remain anonymous at this time, but he did mention the fair ladies with their complexions of eggnogs and slugs of rejuvenation at the Fezziwig household household with an E on the end. I can only imagine he must be referring to you ladies, and I'm wondering, is that a stick from the slugs of rejuvenation that you've been using as well?
I mean, I never knew that there was slug in it, but it's possible.
Oh, I see.
This, yes, it's a lipstick that has the red variety of the slug slime mixed with some candle wax to create this. It's very
Absolutely.
nice on the lips.
What will we think of next for beauty products? I tell you, being beautiful is not easy. You have to put all
It's a hard task.
Well,
yes.
you sisters make it look just like just rolling off a log in a very classy, beautiful way, with it being maybe a Yule log. Thank you so much for coming in. We'll come back to you later on in the show because I know we have a lot to
Thanks
talk
for having
about.
us.
Thank you. But next we are going to our field reporter who has Bob Cratchit for an interview.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Elizabeth, and I am here with Mr. Cratchit this evening to talk about Marley Was Dead and what it was like to work for Marley and Scrooge. Good evening,
Oh,
Mr.
Thank you
Cratchit.
for thank you for having me, Elizabeth. Yes, I'd be happy to answer your questions. Working for Scrooge and Marley was quite interesting to say the least. Of course, I was a very young man when I first got the job, while Mr. Marley was still alive, and I was just used to being kicked around a little bit. Those were rough times after all. There's no such thing as workers' rights back then, were there? But
No,
uh,
indeed. The world has changed a little bit. Can you tell me a
sure.
little bit more about the relationship between Mr. Marley and Mr. Scrooge? My understanding is there were maybe some secrets that most of the rest of the world was not privy to. Do you have any insight on that, Mr. Cratchit?
you know, they were both very private men. And so, did they have secrets? Absolutely. But I did see a few things, I can tell you. Um, One thing that very few people know about Marley and Cratchit is that around gift giving, they had a special tradition of pranking each other with gifts. And
Interesting.
after a while, it got completely out of hand. And of course, in later years, Scrooge is notorious for his sort of the period of time where he was certainly lacked generosity, and perhaps this was a trauma from having lost his rival and the traditions that he had perhaps grown to hard to say love with Scrooge, but appreciate in his own special way at the time. But but yes, they would give each other gifts, and it became quite a thing. Always trying to one up the other, and then of course when Marley discovered the slugs, it really raised everything to a whole nother level.
The slugs. Can you expand on the slugs?
So, well, there was this old slug rancher out in the woods that Marley met, and he raised giant slugs and those great huge slime trails. Well, Marley came up with the idea of collecting these slugs and collecting their slime, boxing it up as a rejuvenating cream, and gave that to Scrooge for Christmas. Well, Scrooge started regifting these all around town to the few people, and it became mm, this whole mythology grew up among the a lot about this slug ointment that was said to be the most fantastic beauty product that you'd ever seen. It imbued with almost magical properties, uh, almost better than eggnog.
Interesting. Yes, I do know eggnog was a very popular beauty treatment at the time, but slug beauty treatments I had not heard of before. Well, thank you so much for your input on this story, and back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Elizabeth. We have had some guests making their way here very slowly this evening, but they're finally here, and I can't wait to hear what they have to say. We have Jennifer and Jonas Slug who have joined us here. Jennifer and Jonas, oh my goodness, thank you so much for Jonas, press that little
Yeah,
button.
there we are.
Thank you.
I'm out here in the woods,
You're
remote.
still on your way.
It's
Yes.
Jennifer's there. I'm out near the ranch.
Yes, I know. You have to stay near the ranch.
We have to look after the slugs. You can't just leave them alone. So
No.
Jennifer, I'm sure, will tell you everything you need to know. But Jonas must stay by the slugs and not come. So remotely, I can speak to you.
Thank you. And
Yes.
I've heard that one of the secrets to the success that you, Jennifer, and Jonas have had is feeding your slugs a steady diet of milk and nutmeg and a little bit of rum.
Well, they're very partial to eggnog, aren't they, Jennifer?
We basically just feed them eggnog, and the slime that they produce has wonderful rejuvenation properties.
Mm.
It's
And
is
once
it
a few got out and they escaped,
Yes, and I had to track them down. And there was still one at large, and I told Scrooge that they were at large, and that perhaps his monopoly on the slime would be uh, would disappear. But it was not at all anything that we would have liked to have had anything to do with anything about. So you,
I would like to ask. Oh, please go ahead, Jennifer.
Here is a stick of rejuvenation cream. It is we have rejuvenation bees. They produce wax that has rejuvenating properties too.
Fascinating.
So we mixed that up with the slug slime and put it into a stick. We call it the Tahape stick.
Chahape stick. Oh my goodness.
And
What will I
then
think of next?
just put it on you.
Oh, wow. I did want to ask both of you, since you've had dealings with Scrooge and Marley through the years. Was there anything that you noticed that was, well, pardon the phrase, but slimy about their dealings?
well, I'm not one to cast aspersions. My whole business is I deal in slime day by day, but
Mhm.
it's animal slime. It's innocent. It's a product of nature. But the human slime that those two are involved with. I mean, it's true, involved in their business dealings, but I only dealt with the animals. Jennifer and I just like it's hard to say that you like a slug, but you get used to them. But I'm not certain at all about what was going. There was some unsavory things going on in that office. I don't know what they were, but I'll tell you the one day I found Scrooge on his hands and knees, uh, nailing something under the floorboards, and I pretended to ignore it because I
Oh
wouldn't
my
want to.
goodness.
Yes, it was frightening. Jennifer, I went home and told Jennifer about it, of course, and
Yes.
she, and that's why we had to stop doing business with both of them, I'm afraid.
Well,
Uh,
thank you. And Jennifer, I understand that one of the reasons you came to London this week is to, poke around in that apartment and maybe get into those floorboards. Have you
Oh
been able to
yes,
find anything yet, or is this still waiting to be done?
it's still waiting to be done.
Ah,
Especially since the new invention of the rejuvenation dog hair.
oh my goodness. Okay.
Just
Thank you.
you
Uh,
just
wait a minute.
just
Wait a
take a
minute.
Yes, thank
I'm
you.
having a little
My,
trouble on this end. I'm gonna.
Oh, all right, thank you, Jonas.
my name is Elroy Elijah. I am the attorney who is handling the Scrooge estate. There
Ah,
is nobody
I
that
must
is
get back
supposed
to the slugs now.
that you are not, madam, to go into that home. I am going to change the locks, and I want to make sure that no one whose interests are adverse to the estate shall have anything to do with that house. Most definitely not pulling up floorboards, opening grandfather clocks, or digging under the wash basin.
oh,
Thank you.
that's very specific. Thank you for
Yes,
that
it
warning.
very
Thank you
much
very much.
is.
Thank you, Ms. Elroy Elijah. We have had some of our wonderful archivists digging out photos of all kinds of interesting facts and figures related to this mystery, and I'd like to share some of those with our viewing audience at home. If we could have the first set of photos up. Now, this is actually some photos of of slugs being amused by Marley and Scrooge. Oh my goodness. Who would believe it? All right. The next photos that we have are of the Fezziwig daughters getting a little too much into their eggnog. You go, Fezziwig girls, you go. There's also another one here of, oh, now this is interesting. This is Scrooge and Marley. And, it looks like somebody might have been spying on them because this is a photo of them putting something under the floorboards in their office. Wow, I wonder if we can zoom in on any of these. Huh. No, we can't quite see what it is. Okay, well, the mystery continues, but first, a word from our sponsor.
Howdy. I am an American, and I am here to give you a word from our sponsor. However, I see that my senior partner is here, so I will pass it to them to give the word from the sponsor.
Well, today's episode is sponsored by Bike Locks because today's episode is brought to you by Bike Locks straight from Dallas. Because here in Dallas, there have been tons of bike stealings. So because of that, we have had to resort to Bike Locks. And when we go to the store, they're all sold out or bad quality, like these paper ones. So it's environmentally friendly, but that easy. So, now introducing the stainless steel titanium bike locks. Put in your combination once you buy it, and then that will be what you have to unlock it.
And
Because-
aren't they, madam, aren't they good also for locking up floorboard safes?
Oh, yes, of course.
I knew you wanted to tell that to this audience.
They are extremely secure, and you can easily lock and unlock them only if you know the passcode. There are 10 digits by 4 digits. So that means that you can make 400 and more combinations. At least I think. And so, because of that, just watch how easy it is.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
sponsoring us
Thank you.
today, Texas Bike Locks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we have a lot of amazing people who are lined up to tell us more about what they have seen. Oh my goodness. The first person we're going to have back after our break, I can't believe we got them, but this is the landlord who has the spare keys to Scrooge's apartment. Oh, I see you had your associate there with you for a moment.
Yeah, I'll let the boss do the talking.
Oh, okay.
I'm just I just do the digging and the laying.
Did you find them keys?
I did, sir. I did, sir. Here
You
they
found
are.
them keys. If you want to get in,
Oh,
There you are.
thanks. Yeah, yes, of course. We want to get in. We want to see.
if you want to get in, have a look. I don't care.
Yeah,
Really?
I'll do what the boss tells me. Yes. Go ahead. You've got the keys now.
Just
I'll go back to the coal scuttle.
just watch out for the slime. It can get a little slippery in there. They ain't cleaned it up in quite a while.
I'll bet he didn't get his damage deposit back, huh?
That's funny.
Yeah, she's funny. She's funny, sir. She makes me laugh
Okay.
with those.
And
those
I
jokes.
want to let you know, landlord, again, this is Elroy Elijah here. We will be suing to get the deposit back. Our position is that there was nothing left in improper condition in the apartment. And what went on inside the grandfather clock is none of anybody's business.
Okay.
It ain't natural if you ask me, but you go ahead, let your investigators in there and see what they can find.
I will actually thank you very much because now we have a field reporter who has raced over to the apartment and they're going to be getting in there before any litigation starts, really.
Good evening again. This is Elizabeth from the apartment. And the first thing I would like to investigate this evening is, in fact, the grandfather clock. It seems the lawyer of Mr. Marley and Mr. Scrooge is awfully concerned. And my understanding is grandfather clocks of this day and age have secret compartments. So I would like to talk to one of the investigators here at the apartment with me tonight, and let's see what might be in that grandfather clock.
Certainly. Let's open it up and see what is what.
Good
I should-
evening,
So,
Inspector.
go ahead.
Thank you, Inspector. Please open it up and tell me what you see.
All right. Well, I don't see anything but the inner workings of a grandfather clock. However, I have heard of secret compartments. So I'm just going to knock around. Oh, did you hear the difference in the sound?
I did, Inspector. I did.
Well, let's see what we can use to pry this open. Oh, here it comes.
We're going to take some pictures of what you find.
All right. It's some sort of black object. Do you see?
My.
Yes.
Fascinating. What do we think that might be? What secret does it hold?
I don't know. I'm knocking on it and it doesn't seem hollow. It seems to have some sort of, well, I really don't know what it is. It could be anything. I'll bring it to you and you can investigate further.
See, there seems to be a little bit of stickiness coming out of it. Did you see that when you grabbed it out of the clock? It's like a sticky, slimy substance.
Yes, and it is a little bit of green slime.
Ugh. Oh, and the smell is horrible. Huh. I wonder if we can open it. I think I'm going to have to go back to you in the studio. We're going to play with this box here.
Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you, Elizabeth. Well, keep us posted because we are all on pins and needles waiting to find out what that stinky stuff is. I wanted to circle back because I think there is a connection here. I really think there's a connection, and I want to explore this with some of the Fezziwig sisters and Belle, if they're able to come back. Oh, good. Thank you, Dr. Fezziwig. Thank you so much for making the time again. Oh, and thank you, Elizabeth and Caroline. And is Belle with you, or is she?
Oh, that from what we just met her, but from what I can tell, she's a little flighty. I'm never really
Okay.
And we don't think our daddy would have been the kind to be running around on our mother anyway. So
well,
I believe
I've got to say, Dr. Fezziwig, nobody ever thinks their daddy is that way, and there's a lot of kids out in the world. So, anyhow, I would love to ask you though, did any of you patent the slime and eggnog rejuvenation compounds?
I didn't know about it. I drank it.
You drank it.
We did try to patent the eggnog, but It was actually too popular and everybody knew the secret, so I guess it wasn't a secret after all.
Oh, okay. How about you, Elizabeth? Did you ever scribble anything down and maybe give it to Scrooge or Marley when you were courting?
Oh, well, of course, we had our little secret about the slime in the eggnog. And I did mention it to Scrooge, and
Hmm.
he seemed to be very thoughtful about it and thought maybe he could make some money out of
Hmm.
patenting it.
I see, I see. And I will also observe now, one of you is a doctor, but none of you ever married, and well, your family didn't have a great deal of money, so what have you been living off of all these years?
Well, well that's a lady's secret.
I agree with Elizabeth. It's kind of our secret.
Dr. Fezziwig, what do you have to say to that?
Me?
Yes.
Oh, goodness. I would not begin to know how to respond to the slugs in the eggnog. What is it? You put the slugs in the eggnog and then you feel better or something weird like that. I don't
I
really
see, I
remember.
see, I
Yeah.
see. This gets curiouser and curiouser, but
Oh,
our
yes.
our field reporter is over at Scrooge's apartment right now, and oh my goodness, somebody's taken off to perhaps stop her.
This is Elizabeth at the apartment. They cannot
Yes.
stop me despite the lawyer's best intentions.
All
We have
right. Well,
the best.
I just wanted to let you know, Elizabeth, those Fezziwig sisters might be on their way over there, so hurry, hurry, hurry.
Okay, we
Gotta
will
figure out.
indeed. We
We
will
gotta
keep looking
figure
at the
out where.
box.
Yes, and I think I also think that Jennifer and Jonas might be on their way over there as well.
Actually, I do want to talk to them. They might have some insight.
All
All
right.
right, I'll report back.
Well, uh, oh, sorry, boss. Sorry, I got here right ahead of you.
I thought I, I think this lot wants to go in the apartment again.
Oh, right. All right. Well, perhaps we'll go in there. Look, I just wanted to say something, just between you and I.
Yeah.
Those girls are very. Yeah, I don't think you can trust them. I think there's something suspicious going on. They did something. Yeah, I didn't tell you this, but 2 weeks ago I came by and one of them had managed to sneak in using some of that slimy stuff in the lock, and they popped the lock and they went into the old grandfather clock, and all I saw was the old Marley's boots in there, and some legs sticking out. I don't know what they've got underneath that clock, but anyway, I thought I'd let you know.
All right, all right. I mean, aside from sneaking in and out at all times of the night and carrying boots and legs and big suitcases, I ain't never seen him do nothing suspicious.
Oh well, maybe not. Maybe not. I just am worried. I think I think they're very sweet on the surface, but what happened to Belle? What happened to Belle? I mean, Scrooge was sweet on her, and suddenly Belle just disappeared. I mean,
All right.
I just don't know what to make of it. Anyway, I thought I'd let you know, boss.
You're right. There were another one.
Yes, the little one, the pretty one. She was a darling, and such a sweet nature too, and Scrooge was quite smitten with her, and then suddenly she disappears. Now why? And there's a clock, and Marley's legs sticking out of it. I'm a little worried about what's happening in these parts, sir.
Aye, they're a slimy lot, all right.
Yes, I'm afraid that's all I can say.
I just again wish to inform you that libel will be responded to appropriately, given that I represent the Scrooge and Marley estate. The legs sticking out of the clock belong to the estate. The slime oozing out of the clock belongs to the estate. And
I
what
do have a question. I do have a question for you, Attorney Elijah. Now, if there were an heir to the estate, well, you know, like if an heir who was perhaps oh related to everyone involved, they would have the right to do what they wanted with it, wouldn't they?
Well, of course, in that case, I would be representing the estate on behalf of the heirs. So, therefore, of course, but as of now, we are not familiar with any heirs, except perhaps some of the Fezziwig sisters. Not that young one, Belle, who claims to be a Fezziwig sister. We do not believe that at all.
I see. That's very interesting because Belle has pulled a Jerry Springer on you.
Excuse me, but in my time period, I am not familiar with Mr. Jerry Springer
Hmm.
or Ms. Jerry Springer. What has Belle pulled on me? Is that anything like a hood going over my face? Please
No.
explain.
She's just collected different cups of eggnog that people have consumed, and there's a modern little thing called DNA. Well, it's not modern; it's been around forever. But she's compared those cups of eggnog with her cup of eggnog, and her beauty rejuvenation stick that she's been letting everyone use, and she is indeed the rightful heir to the Scrooge and Marley estate. And I believe she's going over to the apartment right now to claim her inheritance. Could we
Oh my,
we
excuse
have
me.
a
I
reporter?
must get back to my office and grab some papers and run and meet her forthwith at the apartment. Thank you for letting me know about this development. I greatly appreciate it. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Oh my goodness, Elizabeth.
Good
So,
evening. Welcome
yeah,
back. It has become chaos here at the apartment. We not only have the three Fezziwig sisters, we have the fourth mysterious one who's here to give a big announcement. We also have been examining this box, and we think it is full of snail slime.
oh
Were
my,
Scrooge and Marley running a secret slime operation?
well, let's find out. I think we have Jonas, the slug rancher, there to give expert testimony as well.
Indeed, Jonas. Jonas, please tell us what you think of this black box we found in the grandfather clock.
Well, it's very worrisome. I have actually seen the toxicology report, and it's now I have to say that our snail slime, is pure organic slime. There's nothing in it, but somehow in these cups that the laboratory has. I've just got the report back, and it says that there's 15 grains of arsenic, 25 grains of potassium cyanide. I mean, this is a deadly poison now, and I'm afraid I have to report that I've just seen the police in the apartment, and they've taken Marley's body out.
Oh my goodness, the chaos continues at
They
the
put it
Marley
out.
Stage
So
apartment.
I'm sorry to. Yeah. Oh, there she is.
And there's the mysterious Fezziwig sister Belle.
Hello. Back again.
Now, Belle, I understand that you figured out your inheritance from the Scrooge and Marley estate. You're
Oh
going
my
to be
God, it's Belle! Belle's back! Sisters, Belle's here! I think she has to tell us something.
I still think he's trying to cheat us.
Belle, what are
Go
you
ahead, Belle.
doing
What
here?
is your announcement?
It is I, Belle, the inheritor of Scrooge and Marley's fortune.
No!
What?
What happened to our inheritance?
well now, ladies, just before you get your bees and your bonnets, I do want to point out that one of the photos that we have actually is of Belle giving an arsenic laced rejuvenation stick to Marley.
Surely that must keep her from inheriting. Murderous.
I believe so. I believe Belle is going to be spending Christmas in jail.
Oh ho, are the
No.
authorities on their way?
Belle, the
Nuh-uh.
police are on the way, Belle. You might as well turn yourself in now because we do have the photos of you, and we do have a photo of Marley, uh, and we even have testimony from the landlords of the building that they saw you coming. Do we have the landlord of the building?
That was unrelated. Marley was asking me to help out with a deed. I just happened to have arsenic.
I see. I see. Likely
Said it
story.
again. Arsenic.
Likely story.
Helping out with a pest problem.
A pest problem. I
That
see.
pest
Oh,
was
well, she's got you there. There was a pest problem.
There was a pest problem, but I think
I'm
the
not talking
attorneys.
about no termites.
I think the attorneys are going to have to agree, and the barristers and the courts. Belle, you're going to be going away to jail for a long while. But
So does that
that's
mean
not.
it's who inherits? Is it us? Is it us?
Well, the inheritor of the fortune, our show has also come across some documents showing that
Oh, were those the photos that you left unattended that have incriminating evidence against me?
we do have the negatives as well, my dear.
That fireplace.
Mm,
Fireplace.
I
Now,
see.
why
I
does
see.
Scrooge love her if he did?
That's
Because
a great
she's certainly clever.
That's a great question for another episode of our show, but I did want to note that we have documents showing that, oh my goodness, Belle, you're using the arsenic chapaki stick. You just put arsenic on your own lips.
Oh, you do know that some people have used it as makeup before, such as my early line relatives, all of them. And we've slowly developed a, you know, way that we're immune to it. It doesn't
My
affect us.
goodness. All right, well, Belle, you're going to be enjoying your arsenic beauty treatments in in jail. I
Wait a
definitely.
minute. I drank that eggnog and it was a long time ago. Oh
Mm.
my God. I think I'm going.
Oh my goodness. Well, that definitely supports the last document we have, which shows that Marley and Scrooge were leaving their empire to Jonas, the slug rancher, and his landlord.
Well, it's snowing here now out in the slug ranch, and all I can say is I'm so happy to have inherited some of that money. I tell you, we're going to improve our slugs and refine their diet even more. And I'm glad we weren't tarred with the same brush that family of Fezziwigs and that strange young woman who seemed so nice, and yet there she was with poison and God knows what.
I plan to use me part to clean all that slime up.
Well, that's
Sounds like a
lovely.
plan.
I'll make it. You clean it. Perfect.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Oh, well, I just wanted to end this evening's episode with one last little insight from Tiny Tim, and it might not be the one you're thinking of, but Tiny Tim, I know we haven't seen you all evening, but come on out and give us a final word.
May soda bless our taste buds.
May soda bless our taste buds. Thank you, Tiny Tim. May soda bless our taste buds. But taste buds. I need to have a soda after this. May soda bless our taste buds. And remember, you'll always have sisters. Thank you and good night. All right. Thank you for watching tonight's show. Marley Was Dead. You'll always have sisters. Let's say a quick hello to the cast. We have Jessica Fleener joining us from Seattle. Woohoo! We have Andy Harmon joining us from Rancho Mirage, California. And then the afterlife, apparently. We have Audrey Lebras joining us from Palm Desert, California. Thank you, Audrey. We have Marty Nieder joining us from Yucca Valley, California. Thank you, Marty. We have Michael Van Haney joining us from Yucca Valley, California. We have Veronica Van Haney also joining us from Yucca Valley, California. And I'm
Hello.
Anna Van Haney. Thank you so much for watching our show, and come back tomorrow. We'll have one final brand new, completely different episode of Marley Was Dead. Thank you.
And remember one important thing. The slime probably got to Yucca Valley, California, so we can rename it Yucky Valley, California.
Hadn't thought of that. Thank you and good night.